Hi, and welcome to the Girls Summit. I hope you have been enjoying the programming thus far. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the importance of equity in STEM. But before we do that, let me talk about who I am. My name is Dr. Roopali Chaudhary. I am a molecular and cellular biologist by trade. I am a senior scientist that works at a startup company called Alada Life Sciences here in Canada. And I am also involved in academia, where I'm a research associate at McMaster University. I am a scientist, but I have also dabbled in entrepreneurship, where I am the founder and CEO, as well as the lead researcher at LotusDev, a nonprofit organization that is geared towards creating a networking and leadership opportunity for South Asian women in science, technology, engineering, math, and medicine. I also do science communication, where I am one of the content editors at Sci Illustrate. And I also have a small custom cake bakery called Sugar Cube, where I focus on creating science-based cakes and doing a little bit of science communication in a more edible form. I also do science communication in the community here in Canada, where I talk about different science topics in multiple languages. So why science communication? Why am I focusing on that aspect? Well, considering we have a global pandemic, we know now more than ever how important it is that we have true, factual, evidence-based science information that is coming out to the general public. And this is what science communication is. It is the field where scientists, journalists, as well as you learn about the upcoming research that's being done in science and tone it down so that the general public can understand it as well. It's a way of informing the general public about the new discoveries and the groundbreaking technologies that we are on the verge of creating. But when we talk about science communication, is it just in person? Well, no. We are more than ever living in a digital world. And so science communication does take place on digital platforms. Everything from TikTok to Instagram, Facebook, as well as YouTube. We're spending a lot of time on YouTube nowadays. But I will ask, how many STEM-based YouTube channels can you actually name? More than that, how many women-hosted STEM YouTube channels can you actually name? Well, a study done in 2019 showed that only 32 out of the 370 STEM-based YouTube channels were hosted by women. That's less than 10% of these channels are hosted by women. And in fact, when looking at the comments section of these videos, what was found is that more than double of the comments that would be considered critical appeared on women's videos, or women STEM videos specifically. That's what this study looked at. So what kind of critical comments? I mean, everyone's allowed to be critical, but what kind of critical comments? Well, what they showed is that on women's videos, comments that were more critical were either related or could be broken down into talking about appearance, or were sexist or sexual in nature. When we're talking about appearance, the actual physical appearance of the woman. And for men, there was more emphasis put on the actual content. Women were also more likely to have comments that had to do, that were more sexist in nature, such as, "Go back to the kitchen and make me a double stack sandwich." This is a very, very inappropriate comment, but women are more likely to hear it. So you'd ask, okay, so women are getting more of these. So what? They're in the public eye, they're going to be criticized. Well, the thing is that the effect of these is long lasting, not just in terms of what's appearing on these STEM YouTube channels or what happens in science communication. This is something that women face throughout their lives. Imagine waking up and having a post-it in front of your face every single day telling you that how you look is a lot more important than what you say. We have commercials that come out about this. I mean, Fair and Lovely is an example. And apart from the colorism issues aside, there's also this whole notion of if you don't look good, you will not get that job. It doesn't matter whether or not you're smart enough, capable enough. You need to look good. This is the message that women receive all the time. And that's not just traditional media, it's also on digital media. The underlying message that women get, even if this is not the intention, is that you're not smart. And you may ask, how is this even possible? It's not true. Like, at what point do women even start thinking that they're not smart? Well, there has been research done on this component too. A paper published in 2017 in the US, and what they did was they asked 5, 6, and 7-year-old girls and boys to look at two pictures and rate who do they think is really, really smart. One picture is of a male, and the other picture is of a female. At the age of 5, there is no difference in how the kids perceived who was really smart. But by the age of 6, we start to see a deviation in how girls think from boys. By the age of 6, girls become less likely to associate brilliance with their own gender. But why? Why is that happening? Well, by the age of 6, most children are in school. They're also being exposed to many people in society, from teachers, society as a whole, their own community, parents, other friends' parents. So there's a larger number of exposure. So we can't pinpoint why exactly this is happening. But we can say that girls are starting to take the message that they're not smart and putting it they're internalizing it by the age of 6. Interestingly, when you ask 5, 6, and 7-year-olds who gets better grades, girls say that they get better grades throughout. But there's no correlation between who is smart and who gets better grades. In fact, girls tend to think that they are more hardworking than boys. And this perception that they have to be really, really smart, not hardworking, they have to be really, really smart to be in STEM. And because of that, they underestimate their own potential. So perception matters. When we're saying this is happening at the age of 6, there are long-term repercussions of this. This was a study published in 2017 here in Canada that looked at math abilities between girls and boys. So the program of international scoring assessment was done to look at how well do girls score in math compared to boys? And they did it across different countries. And while girls did really well in math, they scored quite high. When you look at whether or not those girls are taking up STEM programs in university, they found that fewer girls took or applied to STEM programs, even though they did really well in math. When you ask them about perception, they tend to rate, there's fewer girls that will tend to rate themselves as good or even excellent at math. Perception matters. And this is not just a story in Canada. In fact, while we have a number of STEM graduates coming from different countries, in fact, India being the largest STEM graduate producer, where 32% of undergraduates have graduated with a STEM degree. Women around the world tend to underrate their own science capabilities. And this is notorious in the South Asian subcontinent. But it's not just in the South Asian subcontinent. Across the world, an average of 11% of difference in how they rate their own science capability compared to how they rate men's science capabilities. So that perception really matters. So what can we do to get that equity in STEM? First, to all the young women who are watching this, please be careful of what you tell yourself. Watch your implicit bias. Are you not doing something because you should not be doing that? Or you think you're not capable of doing it? Why do you think this? Ask yourself that. We all learn to stand before we can walk. And we all learn to walk before we can run. So just because you may not be good at something now does not mean that you will never be good at it. You deserve to be in STEM as well. Second, let's all stand up for equity. And here I will call out all the young men who are watching these. Make sure you are entering the conversation. Don't wait for women or girls to tell you that these are the issues. The issues are known. Educate yourself and enter that dialogue. See, what can you do to help? One thing you can do is check your own personal biases and also call out people around you. So when, for example, if there's a hiring happening and someone says, let's not hire her because she will get pregnant at some point, let's hire him instead, he'll be here. Well, question then, why? Who's more capable for that job? Is it really truly based off capability? Or is it more because we have a bias? And overall, to everyone, let's have greater visibility. To all the young adults who are watching this, there are a number of women scientists and engineers across the world who are doing fantastic work in cutting-edge technologies, on the verge of great discoveries, and all they need is your support. Support them. Ask for visibility. If you are in high school, ask your teachers to have more representation in the classroom. Tell them to bring in some women scientists or engineers to speak with. If you're in university, do the same. Ask your professors to actually talk about some of the great discoveries that have been made by women. And if you're out of school and you are working, seek out those who are working in that equity field and see what can you do to help change how society thinks about you. Together, we can change what STEM looks like. and something for you to continue to think about. Why is equity in STEM important to you? I thank you for listening to this, and I truly hope that you enjoyed it. And if you are looking to see what Lotus STEM does and what kind of services we provide, I have a slide up here. Please feel free to get in touch with us on social media. Thank you very much.